Today guys, I'll be sharing with us how to make this gown shirt, shirt gown. I don't know what it's called, but whatever you heard is correct. Okay, and this gown has a collar on the neck, and it also has this. If you watch closely, you can see the pin I used to pin the button area up, and it also has this high and low effect on the down part. The front is high, and while the back is low. I don't even know, the back is long while the front is short. Okay, so I will start by folding my fabric. As you can see here, I have folded it, and this fabric I use 2 yards of fabric for this, and the length of this gown is going to be 47, and I added 46. I added 2 inches for the hem, is going to be 48. um I how I got this folding is I divide my hip by 4, and I added extra 3 inches allowance. That is how I got this folding, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. All right, I'll be cutting it out, but before I cut it out, I'll be putting down my my shoulder measurement 8 plus ½ inch allowance, which is 8.5. I'm going to mark it there, and after marking it, after getting the shoulder measurements, I'll put down my bust measurement. From the shoulder to my bust is 11, and I'm going to put it down. Then I'll get my waist 17 inches. From shoulder to waist is 17 inches, that is the half length, and 25 inches is my hip length. Then from there, I'm going to take it down to the full length of this dress. I'm sorry you cannot see the down part because the camera is not filming everything. Now I've cut out the part that I needed, but before cutting I added extra 1 inch allowance. All right, so now I'll be putting down the neck measurement. The neck width is 3 inches, while the depth is going to be 1.5. I am cutting the back first. I'll be using the back to cut the front. So the neck depth is 1.5 inches, while the width is 3 inches. I'll curve it. I'm using a free hand to do this tutorial. Then I'll put down my bust measurement, divide by 4, adding the allowance that I needed. But before then, I'll divide whatever that I have on my armhole by 2, then go in by with 0.7 inches and curve my armhole out. Like I said before, I am using a free hand for this tutorial. Then I'll connect from the neck down where I came down with 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then from the shoulder, you can see my waist measurement. Under bust measurement is not needed for this, so I will mark my waist measurement very well for you to see it here. I'll go ahead again and put my bust measurement to know if I got it correct. Then I'll add 3 inches allowance. You can add 4 inches allowance depending on the size of the person you are making the cloth for. Then I'll put my waist measurement, divide by 4 plus allowance. I'm going to go down on the hip line and put my hip measurement, divide by 4 plus allowance. Then I'm going to take whatever that I have on the hip down to the hemming part. I'll first of all connect from the hip to the waist like this. and from the waist to the bust point, and from the bust to the chest line, which is the armhole area. Guys, making a shirt gown is very, very easy and simple. There's nothing much in it. Now I am done. I will go ahead and cut. I'll be placing the back on another on the fabric that I folded to cut the front. I'll cut the armhole. From the armhole, I will go down. Now I am done cutting it. Just trimming out. I'm done with the back cutting. So I'll be placing it on the fabric to cut the front. You can see the length here. I'll place it on the fabric that I folded, like you see here, to cut out the front. Now if you watch on the center area, you can see the 2 inches allowance that I gave. Let's just call it a zipper allowance, but on this shirt is going to be the button allowance. Okay, then I'm going to go down with 3 inches for the neck depth. This is the front, guys, so I will go down with 3 inches for the neck depth, and you know our width is 3 inches, so I'll still maintain the width. Okay, now this line, you can see that the line is 2 inches. It is going to be for the button. I'm going to go ahead and cut the neckline out. When you fold the front area, just place it the way we normally place to cut out the back, like leaving extra 2 inches allowance, like for zipper allowance, but this is a button allowance. Okay, I am still going ahead to cut the neck line for the front. So after giving the button allowance, I'm going to go ahead and cut, and that is all for the cutting. All right. So now I'm done cutting. I'll be slitting the front up like this. On the center front, I'll slit it up. So I'm going to open it up for you to see how it looks like this is the back. I've opened it up, and if you want to stitch it up, this is how you're going to arrange it. Bring the front, make sure the front side is facing the right side, is facing the right side of the back. Place it like this and stitch the shoulder first. Then after stitching this, joining the shoulder, I'm going to show you the next thing to do. Now I'm done joining the shoulder here. So this is the neckline, and you can see how the pieces looks like. So now I'm going to fold the 2 inches that I marked out. Remember, when you get your 2 inches, you notch like this. You can see the notching. You notch. Okay, you notch and fold it this way. Fold it inward. that 2 inches, you fold it inward. It's just a space for button. Fold the other to the other side as well. Now this is for the sleeve. Like the picture, the picture of the style that I'm recreating, the owner fabric is not that much, so she asked me to do any little sleeve that can be okay. If you don't know how to cut a sleeve, I have a tutorial here on how to cut a perfect sleeve. You can scroll up and watch it, okay? But if you're a good observer, you will observe the way that I cut this sleeve. That is just it. It's very, very simple. After cutting, you notch the center part, and remember that this sleeve has um or joining at the down part, like a cuffling. I don't even know. So just cut out any pieces. I'm done folding the button area. This is it. And the next thing is to put the collar. So before putting a collar, you go ahead and measure your neck round circumference before putting your collar. I'm trying to like arrange this dress for you to see how it looks. So this area is the button area, okay? And before I put the collar, I'm going to like cut the high and low down part. The back is longer than the front. I'll be cutting the front first. So the full length of this the length that I needed for the front is 38. Okay, it's 38. So I just mark my 38, and from there I just mark it from the length of the front. I'll go up with 4.5 inches and curve it out. Like that place I am marking, you see the way I folded this my fabric, the back is on its own and while the front is on own. All right, at the side that I joined, I will go up by with 4.5 inches and curve it out like this. Remember that the curving starts from the side stitch, like the two side stitch. Just curve it out like so. So the back is on its own, remember. After getting what I want, I'm going to cut it out. Now I'm done cutting the front. I will be cutting the back. I have arranged how the back is going to be. Just watch carefully and see the way I arrange this. This is the center part for the back, and from that down part I'm going to curve it to meet the length of the front, because they are going to be equal at the stitching line. Okay, the length of the front is going to be the same while curving out the back. I'm just going to curve out like this. You can see that it's very simple to cut. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to open it up for you to see how it looks like, but this down part, the edge is too pointy. I'm going to trim it a little, and I have done it already on this. So this is how to get your curvy area for a shirt gown. All right, and trust me guys, why folding this is, it can be a little bit difficult, but you can use a bias to turn it up, or you do an industrial weaving. All right, it's going to be fine. Now the next step to take here is to to put down the collar. First of all, you get your neck circumference, you measure it out. But on my next tutorial, I'm going to be teaching how to cut a collar. Here is my collar that I have cut out, because I wouldn't want this tutorial to be too long. That is why I didn't make the video for the collar. So I've cut the collar. Like I said, after measuring your neck circumference, you get the midpoint here. After getting the midpoint, you also get the midpoint of the collar and notch. All right, then you open the collar up like this. You get the midpoint of the neck and the midpoint of one of the collar this way, and pin it up. So you can actually do it in a two different ways. Either you follow from the starting point and fold it up like this. The neck is going to be in the middle of this collar while folding it up, as you see me doing. Then you are going to pin it up. You pin it all up. After pinning it up, you are going to stitch it and leaving like about 3 inches for pulling it out, then stitch it up again. I'm just showing you two different ways you can stitch your collar on the neck, but I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be doing this type of style. All right, so I'll be pinning it down like this, one after the other, getting one of the collar side, the right side that I use as my front. I'll place it right side, facing right side of the fabric, and pin it up this way. I am pinning it up starting from the middle to the other part, to the end of the length. Then after pinning it up, I'm going to stitch it like this. Yes, I'm going to stitch it up. After stitching it up, I'm going to go ahead and turn it up like this. Turn it up to the other side. I will turn it up this way. Fold in like the 1/2 inch I'm using for the stitching. I'll fold it in this way, then stitch on top of it. All right, I don't know if you understand, but when I make a video on how to cut a perfect collar, I'm going to like explain it very well for you to understand. I'm just showing you how I'm going to turn the collar up, folding it up like this, pinning it down. Then I'll take it to my stitching machine and stitch it up. After stitching, guys, the next thing I will do next is to show you the final look of this gown. You can see how it looks when you get it very well. It's going to look very neat and beautiful. This is the end of this tutorial. If you have any question, please drop it on the comment section. Thank you for watching.